when you attach people's sense of purpose with their spirituality and their relationship with God, it works. One of the stories I am so proud of, and we were just doing it, we were just talking about it this morning. We have a young man here by the name of Julian. Julian is amazing, but Julian was the neighborhood dope dealer. And he had been in prison, relatively young guy, and we were rebuilding a community and neighborhood. And one day I just went to him and I'm like, look, we're building all this stuff up and you in the way. So he said, well, Pastor Barry, if I'm going to stop doing this, because this is my bread and butter, there's not many opportunities. What can this be exchanged with that I can actually do and make about the same amount of money? So I'm like, well, what do you want to do? He said, I want to do construction. I got some experience in it. I need to find a job in it. And because we're the church, we know everybody. So what if he was a felon, went, hey, this guy needs the job. This is how we're going to do this. Wound up sending him to school. He went to school for 16 weeks, got his certificate, became a master carpenter or whatever you call the thing that he was doing. And he was doing that for a year, got somewhere to live, got a homeless dog that he found, he loves dogs. So it's him and a homeless dog. A year later, he comes back to me. Now, he's a member of the church doing all of this wonderful stuff. And we were helping all his little dope runners that were under him that he was supplying the drugs to. And so they was like, hey, my man, you leaving us? And he was like, yeah, I'm doing this construction thing. So we had to help all of them too. So we were sending them to school to do their thing too. And about a year later, he came to me and he said, well, Pastor Barry, now that I see you're serious about really helping people make their dreams come true, I said construction because I thought that would be good money and I could do it and I've done it before. But what I really want to do is a dog park. I'm like, excuse me? You gonna sell drugs to the community and neighborhood, but you love dogs? He said, yeah. I said, there's plenty of dog parks in Detroit. What's gonna be special about this one? He said, well, I want it to be membership only. And then I want it to be where the dogs have access to veterinarians. And I want to be able to do this thing with kennels. And I want to take the dogs into senior citizen places to work with the seniors and take them into prison. So he had this whole plan. So, of course, don't tell the plan to me because I'm like, okay, I'm going to take you at your word. I think this is a wonderful idea. Let's start the process. He was like, do you know how to do a dog park? I have no idea, but let's find out what it takes to do a dog park. So I called planning and development. I mean, we build houses. So I'm like, we need to acquire about 6 lots because we want to do this dog park. Within a week, we had the people from planning and development that was here. They met with him. I come into church one day. They got this great big map on the conference table. And he is working with the people from planning and development and the land bank, figuring out this dog park with the 6 lots that we bought from the land bank to be able to build the park that we're calling Bark Park. So we're going to call it Bark Park. And we're going to have this dog park unique to Island View in Detroit. So it totally turned his whole mindset around. So now he's this creator. He said, Pastor Barry, we got a wood shop and I'm a carpenter. So let's do custom made dog houses. I'm like, let's do custom made dog houses. And then he said, we got the Leathercraft company. I got with them, we can make custom made leashes to go on the, so it turned into this whole extra energy industry of animal products. So dog houses, custom made dog houses, leashes, collars, all of this stuff. So that's Church of the Messiah. Wait a minute. So from neighborhood drug dealer to developer, literally developer, you're developing a dog park, and to now being able to stop and say you want to do pet supplies and all of these other things. So now here comes now somebody in the community neighborhood that the other young people are looking at. He's a developer of Bark Park.
Hey, Julian.
Church.
Thanks.
Did you think you'd ever work with the church like this?
Actually, I'm not even gonna tell a fib because I'm in church, but this would have never happened had I not got in trouble and had to do community service. This would have never happened.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was headed down one path and God had another one for me. I wasn't coming to church. This was the last place I wanted to be. And then when I did come to church, I sat in the back with my gun.
We didn't know he had a gun. We didn't know that.
And he made church relatable. Like, most people, they didn't like coming to church because they didn't have, which was considered church clothes. Now with Barry, and I quote, he say, I don't care if you got to come half naked. You get to church every week on time. And, it's been instilled in me, and it's one of my traditions now. My best friend, he's actually instilled a tradition to his kids. So now they know. And actually make it so where it's more relatable. Like when he talked to the Bible to me, he talked it into terms where I can hear it, where I can understand it, like far as the communion. Instead of saying Jesus at the table with his friends and he took bread and broke it, he said Jesus at the table with his boys. So I can understand that. He at the table with his camp. I can't. He make it so where you change your whole opinion about the diocese and about the Episcopalian Church in period. Like he changed my whole point of view about a lot of stuff and helped me use my head and take the time out the day to think first. Like, me coming up younger, the things that pulled me to the streets was just not having family, not having somebody that actually left the light on for me at night. That's what pushed me to the streets. And I found that when I came, just for those few little weeks of community service, I found that same love here. And I haven't left since then, Well, it's simple. Julian, have you ate today? Julian, where do you work at? Do you want to learn it? Here, come take this class about gardening. Let me show you about canna lilies. Let me show you how to grow squash.
Right.
Let me show you. John showed me. He showed me how to build raised beds. Like Terry, he come and pick me up from my house. We go to the water. We talk. They help me with mentoring and make sure I'm not bottling up my emotions and showing me how to express them. That's love.